Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. Hello everyone, and welcome to the SC on a TV podcast for DCTV shows. Flash episode 16 of season 4, and what are we on, Legends?
Is it season 3 right now?
Season 3?
Yeah.
Episode something?
Is it season 5?
And Black Lightning episode 8.
We're just like,
Season
yeah,
3.
maybe.
I have 2/3 of what I need.
14. 314.
314.
Ah!
Pie!
Pie!
I had pie.
Yesterday was Pie Day.
Pie Day. Yes. I keep forgetting to ask us before we start. What do we want to start with today?
Well, since I'm only talking about one, I don't really care.
I'm going to start with Black Lightning.
Sure.
She looks like she wants to start with Black Lightning.
Whoo! Everything we were wondering when it would happen, happened.
Oh, yeah, I was like, I wonder when Jen's gonna get her power.
Jen got her powers.
Jen got her fucking powers.
Yep.
And I kind of figured it was gonna happen in some sort of way where she got really anxious. And then, like, her reaction was, like, she couldn't get to her friend fast enough at that point, so it freaked her out.
Yeah.
And there you go. Powers.
Yeah.
And she's like Daddy.
Fried her phone.
She fried her phone, and she started those campaign posters on fire.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And on the surface level, it looks like Black Lightning. But
It's red lightning.
her lightning's red, while his is blue. And I'm gonna predict that her lightning's gonna work a little different, too.
Yeah. I feel like her is more like, I don't know, to be honest. It's a different type of energy, obviously. I mean, they've made it very clear in other DC shows how lightning works. Because we had, what's her face from Supergirl. Her lightning was clearly different than Black Lightning's.
Livewire.
Livewire. And, you know, the lightning that the Flash and Wally create is way different because it's created it's like static electricity.
Yeah.
So
I always assumed it was like bits of the Speed Force. Like it wasn't real lightning. It was like
it's like
energy.
I know they zoom around really, really fast and then they shoot the lightning, so I'm just like, they're creating so much friction. I mean, that's how I've always looked at it. But I mean, the possibility of it being the Speed Force is high too, because you know that's how they got their powers. So, but yeah, I was surprised because we were like, I wasn't expecting it so soon. But then again, Black Lightning isn't a long series. I think we only have a few episodes left.
I believe it's a 13 episode.
Yeah.
They only have announced 10 so far. Hold on. But it was listed in...
They might have
run for
updated
13 episodes.
Yeah. So...
They're keeping the other ones a secret from you.
Yep.
Yeah.
They do that with shows when it gets into, like, spoiler territories, and I've found that it's happening more and more frequently with the DC shows. Like, The Flash is notorious for that.
Yeah. Well, because some people just, like, you know, those super fans. I mean, not us. The ones that are really invested. Like, where they live the Flash. There are people out there. And they see a title and they just go off the rails. And they're sitting there for, you know, hours on end with a pee bottle beside them, figuring out what's going to happen next. Like, it's that crazy. And then the internet...
Wow, I thought gamers were intense with having pee bottles.
Yeah, well, you know, fans are pretty fans of shows and, like, you know, culture, like comic culture like this, you know, they can get pretty crazy too. So
everyone's got something.
Everyone's got something, yeah. I wouldn't say I'm crazy about something, but I've seen some crazy fans.
Yeah. I was really excited to see that, though.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for more. She comes straight to Anissa with it as well. She doesn't just keep it to herself.
I did this to my phone,
yeah,
and it's this. Like, she's like, uh-oh.
She's like, oh, where to start? I'm wondering if she's just gonna come clean with everything, and so that Jennifer's on the same page as her.
I mean, I feel like the approach, because Jennifer's freaked out. She's far beyond, like, I don't know if she's as accepting as Anissa is. I mean, Anissa freaked out at first because she broke a fucking sink.
Yeah.
I mean, that was her first real thing with her powers. So, yeah, that freaks her out. But then, she started doing research. She got into it. She's more like her mom in that way. I think she wanted to figure out what was going on. I don't think Jen quite has that mentality. I think she's just seeing it as it is, and it's a new thing, obviously, so it's freaking her out. So I feel like the way that Anissa needs to approach this is not just come clean and be like, yeah, so I have powers too. She needs to go to her dad and be like, Jen has powers. We need to,
family
come
meeting.
together. We need to family meeting because, Anissa knows, mom knows, and so like the whole family needs to be a thing, and they need to be like, Jen, we're sorry for keeping this from you, but it was too, like, I know she's not going to see it like that, and it's going to be a freaking thing, and that's
and this is like, to be fair, I only knew about this for a few weeks, so
that's true.
It's like, not quite so bad.
No, I feel like it's going to go down that road. At first, Jen's going to be like, you guys are all lying to me, you assholes.
Yeah.
But
another shocker that I didn't think would happen so soon is Gamby's lies come out. Lynn figures this out as soon as she went to have that conversation. I'm like, oh, girl, you're too smart for this. You're going to figure it out. And she did immediately. Shadow Council.
Is that what it is?
Shadow Council. They mentioned it in episode 7. That Tobias didn't want to make it look like he didn't want to just kill Lady Eve because without the Shadow Council's permission. That's what he said. And that's when they got the plan to lightning bolt her.
Gotcha.
And it's unclear at this point whether the Shadow Council is different from the ASA. Probably is. The ASA is the government organization they said they dissected plenty of metas, and I was just like, oh, I already don't like you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I feel like they're two different entities, because I don't feel like I don't know, actually, because to get those lightning guns, you need, it's nuclear power.
Yeah.
So they need a lot of resources, like money for that, and the government, you know what they do sometimes.
Yeah, they are probably two different organizations, but I'm sure they're very deeply connected.
Yeah. I don't know.
Did we get? I'm sorry, I'm now blanking on the conversation Jefferson and Gamby had. Oh, he admitted his real name, and then he was working for the ASA. Oh, yes, that's right.
When he first moved to town, yeah.
Yeah, but he protected Jefferson when he found out that he had powers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he's like a secret agent.
Why? Okay. But he's such a dick.
Gamby?
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah. Okay. He was doing the bad stuff for the bad people, and then saw that, oh, wow, this good guy got killed, and his son is a meta, they're gonna, dissect him, let me protect him. So he did the bads, and now he's trying to do the goods, and...
But he's still doing bads.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. Well, he's got to make it to his contacts. He has to make it seem like he's still on board.
Right. Yeah, he has to play both sides.
Yeah, and oh my god, Jefferson is so mad at him.
Oh man. Well, but do you blame him?
No,
Because
not at
like
all.
this whole thing has been a lie since the very beginning. Like since
And
his
he's
dad
no
died
good.
up till now.
Yeah, since he was a child.
Yeah. So I don't know how this is gonna play because the way their relationship works, even though Jefferson is very mad at Gamby, he still needs Gamby.
Yeah.
Because what if his suit starts to fritz out? Nobody else can fix that.
No.
So
I think it's going to be, honestly, what's going to have to happen is Gamby's going to have to win his trust back.
mhm.
So it's going to be them or me, and Gamby's going to choose Jefferson, and the healing can start. But right now, no. Yeah, Gamby's got to back off.
Mhm. And I don't think he can
No, I
because
don't think
with
so.
Anissa, coming into like her mission or whatever she wants to do, and he wants to provide her with the same kind of protection. And now Jennifer,
Yeah.
because once she starts to accept it, she's going to be wanting to be right in there, and they're going to be some kind of trio.
Yeah.
She's going to want to do this family super fighting thing.
And every time I think about Gamby making their suits, I just think of Edna Mode from The Incredibles.
Yeah.
So funny.
I mean, I don't know. Gamby, I don't know what to think about you anymore. I'm kind of on Jefferson's side because you fucked up. You done fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
And then-
I think I'm in the middle just because, and I'm trying to think of where I've seen a character arc like this before. And the character has come around and that has been forgiven by the good guys. But it just, I like characters like that they toe the line.
He's got a duty, and
Yeah.
it's more than just one, really. I mean, he has a duty to his family, which I kind of like include him in Jefferson's family
Yeah.
because
He's like an uncle.
he's like an uncle. But he's also got his duty to, well, the Shadow Council, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
I don't think he's directly, connected to
No.
them, but he is doing side work for them.
Well, he's made deals because what we've seen of
That's
him
true.
and Lady Eve, he's making deals with Lady Eve.
Yeah.
Or he had made deals with Lady Eve. We find her charred body is still in the morgue. But he's had to make deals, like, I'll do this for you, you do this for me.
Right.
And I don't know. He seems to be keeping the criminals at an arm's length, obviously, because he's Black Lightning's dude.
Right.
And I don't know where he stands with the ASA, because he made contact with the head of the organization, whatever, doucheman McFuckface, whatever his name is. I don't even know. Martin Proctor.
Okay.
He's played by an actor who's played a lot of douches, so that's all I can see is just dickbag. So yeah. Oh, and the thing that Greenlight, it has been in development since the 70s? Is that what? Because Lynn had the thing analyzed. Analyzed. She had the powder analyzed.
Mm-hmm.
And it had it was a vaccine, but it had a similar composition to Greenlight.
Okay.
So the drug might have at one time been a vaccine that is probably the like population suppressant, like keep the masses docile drug that they
Yeah, 'cause
mentioned.
They did mention that, yeah. that it was militaristic kind of thing. They didn't want, people, losing their heads and getting all aggressive and
Mhm.
riots and bullshit.
Which is fucked
And
up.
it is. I mean, there's an easier solution. I mean, in the 70s, a lot of people did it, but they were frowned upon. Just let them smoke a little bit of Mary Jane. They'll become docile. It's fine. Just don't
Well, I
let them
think the
drive.
point of this drug was that the people didn't know they were consuming it.
Yeah, that's exactly the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
just
is really fucked up.
Yeah, and just the way like the head of the ASA was talking about the people of Freeland, it's just like, you condescending fuck, just shut up.
He was talking like their lives don't matter
Yeah.
because of the way they are, which is not their fault at all. It's because government, economy, all this shit is asinine. It's stupid. It's just not right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I absolutely loved this episode when Jefferson and Anissa just had their training sessions and their like excursions.
Yeah, their adventure into the morgue and then into the woods.
Yeah.
Yes, the whole like father-daughter bonding thing was
Mhm.
pretty hilarious, especially when she was going to just poof the whole wall. He's like, whoa, 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 whoa,
Yeah.
whoa.
Do you know
whoa,
how much force it'll take to break the wall down? No. I was just gonna
Nah.
I just gotta punch
Gonna
it really
break it.
hard. It's like, maybe you should think about how much force you put behind your punch.
Yep, just use your finger.
Yeah.
Poof. Yeah, that was funny. She's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. She ended up still using a little bit too much force, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, she's learning. Jefferson's trying to teach her, and then he realizes he can't, it's wrong to try to change the way she does things, because the way she does things, it actually saved his life.
Mm-hmm. It works for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she became that wall where she became bulletproof and saved him that way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because whatever dumbass they sent into the woods tried to activate the core of a nuclear gun, which was dumb, and he exploded.
Mm-hmm.
This is comment about the cell phone was funny. Oh, the burner phone.
Yeah.
Like from the wrong decade. This is current technology, thank you. Yeah. So it really does seem like Lady Eve is dead. She looks pretty dead so far. And she might come back.
I mean, I feel like she should come back. I feel like it's gonna happen some point, but obviously she's gonna be a little bit different looking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they make her come back and she's flawless again, I'm gonna ask some questions.
Oh, I would love that though. She's just like, doesn't skip a beat, is flawless.
I mean, as it would suit her character, it really would. But it would add a little bit more depth and interest if she had to struggle a little bit.
And I mean, she can't come back all the way, because she'd have to end up acting like Tobias, who can't show his face in public. Or isn't supposed to show his face in public. He does it anyway.
Yeah. I mean, with his new club and shit.
Yeah. Wait, where's the new club?
I don't know, but
that was the one that they were in the beginning?
Yeah.
So it's been empty for a while, because he's been carrying out his plans.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Lala strolls back into the club, and two of his guys are laying down some tracks.
This whole thing with Lala is really, I mean, it's odd. Because, we know he's been revived, and for some reason, he's being haunted, or he has visions of Luanda, and it's like they're it's like they've known each other for years, and they're having conversations where it's like legit conversations.
Yeah.
She's, she's throwing like lines at him that are sarcastic, that are poking at him. They're kind of irritating, and she's, really questioning what he's doing, and he just looks like he's talking to nothing and he's crazy, and everybody's just like accepting it,
It's like,
just asking if he's okay.
yeah,
Like,
I mean, his guys are probably scared of him. A, because they thought he was dead and he's
yep.
back.
Hmm.
And B, because he's talking about killing them while in the back of their car. I mean, I'd be kind of freaked out too, and I wouldn't say anything.
It was like an argument to nothing.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna kill them. Why would I kill them? It's just
He's
like,
driving the car.
what?
And we didn't get to know Lawanda that well. Like, we
No.
had a bunch of scenes of her in one episode, and then she got killed.
Yeah.
So we can't really tell if that's actually her. I have a feeling it's not, because at first, last episode, I thought it was legitimately her ghost. But now it seems like it's Lala's projection of her, of who she was.
It really does feel, because, like, I mean, that was the last, like, conflict that they had. He had to shoot her. He had to take her life. And so that would kind of hang in his conscience, even if he, I don't know, like dying and then that kind of being like maybe one of his last thoughts, and then whatever it took to revive him, that's like something that's going to hang around with him. It's going to make him, it's kind of like his Jiminy Cricket or the devil on his shoulder,
Yeah.
help him make decisions, because I don't think anybody who comes back from the dead is clearly all there. Like, they're just,
Yeah, and I mean, he could have been dead for that entire time, and that's a long time to be dead.
Yeah, that's a few weeks. No, wait. Maybe.
It's
couple
at least
weeks.
a week.
At least a week, yeah.
It's at least a week. But yeah, very interested to see where Lala is going, and I had the thought, I was like, I can look up the character from the comics, but then I'm like, I don't want to ruin it for myself. Like, this is so interesting, I don't even want to look it up.
I did think about going to a store and grabbing some Black Lightning comics as well, because
I'm definitely gonna wait till the season's over just
to get a few copies or something.
Yeah.
A few issues. Because, I mean, I never thought it would be that interesting, to be honest. I just like, another... I was thinking more Static Shock, because I really liked Static Shock growing up, but it's not that, really, at all.
No, he's very, very different.
Uh-huh. And I like how he's an older superhero.
Yeah.
Like, he's not, like, mid-30s, like Jessica Jones or Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
Or he's not even, like Flash age, which is like mid-20s, right?
Yeah, I think Flash.
So
is like Barry's
a lot
like
of the other DC heroes are of younger like they're younger.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get this older, like I think he's close to 50, right?
He's like 45, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so that is kind of. I mean, I assume Mick I'm assuming Mick is up there too, but I mean he is one of the older superheroes, which makes him just feel a lot different. Like he's experienced way more, and you can tell.
Yeah, and it's nice that we don't just get this. Not that origin stories can't be unique. It's just it's not the same. We're not just getting an origin story. We're getting like he's deep in this already. He's did it for how many years? So
yep,
very cool, very cool. I think that's it for this episode. I don't think we left anything out.
No, because Tobias is. There wasn't really much of him this episode. It was more of Jefferson and Nissa, the bond, and then
Lala.
ending up Lala, and then the Gambi situation. So, I mean, finding out that Jen's got her powers too. That was a big one, but
yes,
that's it really.
Cool. Moving on. Want to talk about Legends now? You guys were right. It was Elvis.
I mean, I don't think I even added to that conversation. I was kind of like, yeah, it sounds like Elvis. Like, I was like, whatevs.
Yeah, I think that was you,
Which
Rachel. You said it was Elvis.
Yeah, I said it was Elvis.
Yeah, you're right. It was
I
Elvis.
love how they worked it though.
No.
I know. Well, as soon as they said 1950s Memphis and the birth of rock and roll, I'm like, Elvis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like the way they did him, but I'm sorry, you could totally tell it was a voiceover.
Oh, of course.
It was kind of bad.
It was that. I mean, and well, every time he was singing, it was obviously lip syncing. But like that's because nobody can really. Even the people who do really good impressions, they don't always sound exactly like Elvis.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's really hard to do that. But I mean, it was. I mean, apart from the lip syncing, which was very visible, like you could. It was there. But I accept it because they can't get the really young Elvis.
No. Yeah. And
It was good.
there are like a handful of singers in like history that you will never get anyone again who sounds like that, and Elvis was one of them.
Yep.
People try, and there are Elvis impersonators, and it's a whole big thing, but very few come close.
I mean, whoever they got to do the Elvis singing in this particular episode was very good.
Yeah.
Because they didn't take old clips from his music or anything and throw it in. They got an actor, a voice actor, to do it.
They did for when they played it on the radio.
Yeah.
I believe that was bye Rachel. I believe that was the song they played on the radio.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you're right. Other than that, they did recreations of it.
Yeah.
I just love how much Nate nerded out.
Nate always nerds out, though.
He does, but the music was different. It was different for rock and roll. I don't know. I just really liked it.
It was just like, it gets really annoying though, because we know Maya loves him to death, and he doesn't need to like prove to her about anything. And he just like, you have to, and she's like, no, I don't really, but okay, I'll do it for you. Nate needs to kind of back off a little bit and just accept things the way they are with Amaya, because we know, eventually it's just gonna be, they're not gonna be a thing anymore.
Do we know that though? I mean, I guess we kind of know. Do we know that though?
I mean, Nate's not gonna, impregnate her or go back with her or anything like that.
Do we know that though?
I mean, as the story stands right now, that's not what's going to happen. I mean, they know the future.
Yeah, I guess
they know the past.
Kawasa would know if her grandfather was a white dude. I think she'd know that.
Yeah.
So. Sorry, I'm trying to fix this quickly, but it's not going quick. So.
I mean, we didn't get any dark stuff. I mean, they made they're like, oh, we got to get there before dark does, and the darks do, and
yeah, it didn't even like the darks were trying this time.
No, I feel like they're purposely mending.
Yeah, they might be taking a little breather.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's pretty easy to steal things from the legends. So if Dark decided, oh, they have the death totem, I'll just pluck it from their fingers because that's easy peasy.
Yeah, that's happened a few times.
Mm-hmm. So I feel like he doesn't really care because he knows there's easier ways to get it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that he appreciates rock and roll just as much, so.
Mm-hmm.
And to be fair, it only started off as a level 2 acronism, so I don't think the Darks were even involved. It wasn't out of the ordinary acronism. It was a regular one.
Yeah, it didn't get taken to the next level.
Yeah.
which is weird, because you'd think the entire history of a very large genre of music would be a little higher on the chain.
Mm-hmm.
I had time for my net to destroy.
just as I made a 2-box, you come back.
Sorry.
No,
Well, you
no.
have
What?
Phoenix
All of a
Glad.
sudden, it just dropped. It just went.
Mhm.
And I was like,
Yeah.
great. I'm going to talk about the one show I watched.
Well, we didn't say that much, so
No, we haven't gone
we haven't
really far
gotten
into
in the
it.
meat.
And we were just talking about how the Darks weren't involved at all, even though they mentioned them, saying, "Oh, we got to get there first." It
Well,
wasn't.
I think if they would have left it alone too long, I probably would have.
Maybe, but the anachronism didn't start out
Mm.
of their in the outliers that they call.
Yeah.
It was anachronism that that
Was
other
quiet.
organized.
Honestly, it might not have been one that lasted so long, because this feels like the first one that has directly affected multiple people on the ship. Like,
Mhm.
Guitar Hero was gone,
It
replaced
was Jazz Hero.
Trombone Hero,
Hero.
Trumpet Hero, something like that.
Trombone Hero, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Because I guess Jazz replaced
Rock
rock,
and
like
roll.
Jazz Rose instead of rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then he named Axel was named Josh Groban.
No. Oh, that, I died a little inside.
I thought it was hilarious because
It was hilarious, you're right.
if you ever have seen board shorts on YouTube, they do a thing with Josh Groban and they have the kid's voice, and he actually is in a couple of their videos, and a kid's doing his voice, and it's hilarious. Anyway.
I don't know. And Ray.
Oh, and pomade. Pomade was not a thing because
It was like,
Elvis wasn't
Nate,
famous.
what's wrong with your hair? Nate, what's wrong with your hair? They're like, oh, the volume, it's gone.
I love the end. Sarah went to try to touch it.
Have you touched it?
Oh, it's back.
It's like you kind of forget what time Amaya came from. She came from the 1940s, 30s, 40s. So she didn't know
Any of this stuff. Yeah.
So it's like, oh, wait a minute, that's right. She's not from that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, she doesn't really need to know about that stuff because she doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, what matters to her is her family, the
Yeah.
totems, and Nate.
Mhm.
She's only
It's very
accepting.
apparent in this episode.
Yeah. Well, she only. She basically entertained his ideas, and that's all she's really been doing. She's like, yeah, I'll do it just for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I do love the fact that they did add the whole Elvis's twin brother, which he did have.
Yeah,
in real life.
see, I did not know that.
Yeah,
You
he
didn't.
I learned an Elvis fact today.
No, yes, no. I like the fact that they did add that. That added a little something to it, and I don't know. It kind of made it really interesting because
Mm-hmm.
he was never really afraid. At least when he was younger, he wasn't afraid of dying. Like he even said, when he was in the graveyard, whether or not that was an actual quote from him or not, but all the dead want is to be seen. Or, acknowledged.
Yeah, this is
Acknowledge,
literally
yeah.
what he said. Yeah.
Yeah.
They just wanted to be acknowledged. So they're not there to
And he-
hurt me.
Yeah,
They just
No.
want-
and he knows that from the time he spent with his brother, his ghost brother.
Yep.
Which I found
I like-
really interesting because I'm reading this book that's the plot focuses around a twin who lost her twin
Mhm.
and how she feels like she's with her all the time.
Yeah.
So it was interesting to see that somewhere else, the same theme explored.
Well, I mean, he even mentioned in the
a game
episode.
kind of based on that.
Yeah, he like Elvis in this episode even mentioned that he, even though he didn't meet his brother, that this whole time he's missed his brother.
Yeah.
So having that connection, I don't think that ever goes away. Even if you don't know about having a twin, you still feel like something's missing.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
where she felt like something was missing, that she found out her twin died in childbirth.
Yeah.
Yep. And there's a game, I think it's called Two Souls or Beyond Two Souls. But
Oh, that's right.
Yep. I remember that. Actually, I remember somebody playing that on a stream,
Yes.
and I watched all of it.
Yeah,
I remember
did
now.
too. I didn't like it.
good game. It was a very it screwed with you.
Mhm.
But yeah, I love they brought in that and his very strict religious upbringing that he had, and
Mhm.
half the time I wanted to punch his uncle. But
Yeah.
hey,
What-
that's how it was.
Yeah, what terrible timing that they come into this church and
Zari
Zari starts floating. It's like, oh my god. If you could get more like demon than that, I don't think it's
And they're
possible.
looking at her like she has control. She's like,
It's like,
I
I can't, I'm not, it's not me.
I don't know what's going on. She's just as shocked as them. And they're like, Sarah's like, sit down. Just...
It's like, I can't. Just
And
hell.
that one lady oh my God, that one old lady, she reminded me of Grumpy going through the
The old lady.
Oh, the town
Story
crier.
version. Yes. So she reminded me of,
Oh God.
Devil's here! Satan! She's all the fire and brimstone old lady, and I'm just like, sit down.
I would.
Well, Sarah
You know
told
what?
her to.
If I lived in that time and something like that were happening and it would just, it would escalate and they would start the freaking witch trials again, I'd be the first one they burned at the stake because I'd be like, what? It's not the devil. What the hell are you talking
Yeah.
about?
I know, right?
I mean, that looks cool. Like, you don't want to do that? It was...
You want to just float? Come on. Look at her fly. That's
Yeah,
fun.
it looks fun.
But yeah, and I mean, I think another thing besides the whole, of course, doorbell. Yes, that's my point. No, I mean, there was the whole, getting the death totem and what it does. We know it raises the dead, but we don't know exactly how it does.
Yeah.
And there's all that.
I feel like
It's like a siren's call.
it kind of is.
Kinda.
Well, it is in Elvis's hand because
Yeah.
he's musically inclined, and that's
Mm.
how he powers the totem. That's how he takes control. See, with
Yeah.
somebody like Nora, I feel like she'd definitely be able to do necromancy or like open doorways
Mm.
to bring the dead over instead of just like sing a tune and things rise up. You see
Mhm.
ghosties.
So from the time that we figured out that the sixth totem was the death totem,
Mhm.
all I can think about was the lantern rings. And how once you get past the colors, black and white is life and death.
Right.
So there's this whole arc in the Green Lantern comics where the black rings come to Earth and it raises all of the dead superheroes.
Interesting.
Yeah. If you have not read Darkest Night, Brightest Day, Blackest Night, Brightest Day, great comics. But
Wait, CW, why haven't you decided to do a Green Lantern series
yeah, you
yet?
teased him in like season 3 of Arrow, like any day now, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
come on. You have the
Minus-
resources.
Minus the whole CGI outfit, please.
It's all right. It's gonna be classic Hal Jordan with the white gloves, like cheesy as hell.
Fabulous!
I mean, in the beginning, I could expect that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Until, like, Cisco decides to make suits, you know?
But I like.
Well, I
we
mean,
have,
I don't think Cisco would be able to make him a suit because the ring gives him his suit.
the suit.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just...
Yeah.
Cisco makes all the suits, except for when it comes
Cisco
to
will
Gambi.
design a suit and take the ring and be like, "This, do this,
Do that.
do this."
He'll
instead.
talk to the ring. Hi.
Hello, ring.
Do that.
Do this.
I'm right there with you too, Red Bandit. I want Static Shock as well.
Ooh, yes.
I think. I mean, we had the overarching, the whole main thing about Elvis and the death totem and stuff like. But I think that stood out to me, and I actually liked it a little bit, was Zari's talk with, I can't even remember his name.
The preacher.
No,
With
the Flash guy.
With Wally.
Wally, that's his name.
Oh, it's Wally.
With her talking with Wally about how he's like, I can just go zoom and do this. I can just go. And we did bring that up before. It's like, it makes him kind of not, it makes the rest of the team kind of not useful because he could just go, whoo, get it, zoom, go fix things. But the way she explained it to him was like, you're like a
self-control.
You're a hacksaw. You have the changing time is like you need a scalpel. You have to be very, very careful what you do, otherwise things do get screwed up.
Yeah, because if you wildly rip something out of the time it was supposed to be in, you could make things worse. We've
like
seen
when
it.
he first grabbed the guitar this episode.
Well, things didn't really get worse. It just didn't get better.
Because they gave it back.
Well,
but if they were like, oh, and they didn't act like right away, things could have got really screwed up.
Yeah.
And the way Wally took and talked to the preacher about it. And so it's like he was learning, and that's good. And if he continues to do this, he might be a good asset, but I don't know, it still kind of bugs me. But
I like how everyone thinks it's annoying. Everyone thinks his speed is annoying.
Especially Mick. Mick is not having any of that.
It's so funny because that has also been brought up in this week's episode of The Flash. How just zooming away is really annoying, and I thought that was very funny.
But I just thought that was a more important storyline than the mate, which seemed really weird. That I think having him as a new member and him not really knowing how everyone fits and stuff like that.
It is especially good that they're addressing this because I feel like Wally is going to be a permanent fixture, at least for the rest of the season. And if he carries over into the next season, he really needs to dial it down. He needs to really think. I think the whole thing
it's not just going and saving someone that's falling or going to
exactly. It's not acting right at that moment. It's you have to think about what's going to happen rather than just doing it and saving somebody.
Yeah, I mean,
because that's what he did on The Flash. Because that's what Barry did on the Flash as the Flash. That's how he learned.
Time travel is different. Fixing time is different. And Zari, I think, explained it to him good. But when he got the record, she's like, "Yeah, what are you waiting around for?"
Yeah, she's like, "Now is the time to run.
Now is the time. Now is the time to do it." But yeah,
and he comes back and she's like, "What took you so long?" He's like, "Really?"
I like that she kind of took him under her wing because she was the new person. She was the last new person, and she, and I mean, when she came along, they were still kind of grieving. So I'm sure they didn't give her the attention that she should need and the instruction she should need to be about being in that group. But her talking to him and giving him some advice about, you need to dial it back. You're at about an 11. We need you at about a 4, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so I like the fact that they addressed that, and it made it a lot more enjoyable to watch than him just running off and doing things and like, oh, I'm done.
That was, like you said, that was a major concern for, well, not just, us, but like, especially Dom. Like, he was like, I'm not going to like it if this is what they did do with Wally. And I knew it wasn't going to happen like that. They have to use him sparingly, just like they use Jax and Stein sparingly, because he is really overpowered in comparison to the other characters. So
but the way Zari explained it was very, very spot on. It was very spot on. You can't go in with a hacksaw expecting to have delicate results. It's like, stitching up time. That's basically what they're doing. They're cutting out the cancer or whatnot and stitching it up. So yeah, it's very delicate work, and I think all of them have realized that over the years. Especially Mick, because Mick used to be the same way. He used to just be like,
"I'm gonna set it on fire."
Yeah.
No, he's grieving his rat and writing a book.
R.I.P. Axel.
Oh my God, Red Bendon's
he
lived Hamilton watching Hamilton.
he lived a good 2 years.
Axel? Rip.
Or 3 years or something like that. Was it 2015 to 2018 it said at the end or something like that?
Yeah.
I feel like he just got that rat though.
Mm-mm.
Or was that
It
last
was a rat.
season?
It was a rat he's had for a while.
Wow. Yeah, no. I feel
It's
like
kind
we
of
just
like
got Axel.
it's kind of like, when you go back and you watch Charmed and they get their cat in the very beginning, and then you don't see the cat for like 3 seasons, and you figure out that she got turned into a human. It's like, where did she? What? What? She was supposed to guide these witches. I didn't fucking see her guide shit. So yeah, I kind of got that feeling because we hadn't we maybe heard him talk about Axel a little bit. We hadn't seen the actual rat for a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
You
kind
should have
of
known something was up when he brought him out this episode.
yeah.
Right? That's always happens. They're going to kill off the rat, but you didn't
Yeah.
think about that.
It's like the deaths in The Walking Dead. Oh, that character has lines? Oh, yep, they're dying.
But I do like what they did with him at the end.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm sorry, I'm throwing your body away, but kind of was smelling.
You're
I
getting
love
smelly.
the rat ghost! Oh my god,
It
it was
was
so
so
cute!
cute.
I would have loved if they would have kept the rat ghost on the ship. That would have been
Oh,
freaking
yeah.
hilarious.
Oh my gosh, that would have been so cute.
And
Of a
then
rat
the little
ghost.
rat funeral. He
So
made
when-
tiny reeds.
Did well, Ray? Oh my god, he went the full.
I like that. They like both him, Mick and Sarah, like, we're out, and he's
Yeah.
like, no, we need this.
We haven't had time to grieve and other things. It's like,
Alright, my grieving involves drinking.
yeah. Sarah too is just like, just let me drink. Okay, I'm gonna say something because we're not gonna do what you want to do.
Oh,
Mick was
what did he
crying.
sing? He wanted to sing something.
Yep.
Oh, Sweet Child of Mine.
That's right. Yep.
Oh my god.
And she's like, no.
Nope. Shut that
As,
down.
as I
Mick
mean,
was crying, and it was so touchy. It's like it shows that side of Mick that you're like, he's not big. He's a big softie.
and I found, the whole thing with the people on the ship versus the people out doing the death totem stuff. That was the comedic relief because, a lot of people, especially like if you are religious and you watch this, you're like, and they're like, oh, making fun of, people screaming about the devil and there's ghosts and everything. It becomes a little bit of a sticky situation when it comes to just kind of showing it in a way that it can be accepted across all platforms. So to have that comedic element to free a little bit up, to like loosen people up who are watching, who do have really serious values and morals and things, to do that, to do what Ray was doing, the way what Mick was responding and Sarah was responding, really lightened up the episode.
Yes.
Because if it was just clearly death, and ghosts, people would be like, this feels too much supernatural. But even supernatural knows how to throw those comedic elements in there to lighten it up. So I applaud because as much as I wouldn't have an issue with it.
Yeah.
I liked it the way it was.
Mm-hmm.
But
I do like, when Zari was talking to the uncle, she's like, whatever God. She's just like,
Yeah, our
encompassing
god.
all.
Yeah, our gods have different names.
Mhm, yeah.
I'm sure we have more in common.
Mm-hmm. And it is. I mean, it was a good it was a good episode. I knew, they did it well. But yeah, it's like we don't know too much about, and obviously they don't know too much about the Death Tome because it was one that we didn't even know existed for a long time.
they knew they knew the sixth existed. They just didn't know it was
know
death.
what it was. Yeah, they didn't know what it was.
Ray must be psychic because he drew it almost exactly like it looks.
Yeah.
So Ray's psychic.
Yeah, right.
Maybe. Now, are we just collecting the totems to have them? Or are they going to try to find people who can wield them?
Well, I think somebody said we need all 6 totems to fight Whoa.
Malus.
I almost called him Malik. Why the hell did I call him Malik?
Well, we'll call him the M, Mr. M.
Mr. M. To fight Mr. M. So
It sounds more-
it sounds like
sounds
their
better.
plan is to use them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Who can wield the death? Sarah. Can you imagine Sarah wielding, because she's already died
yeah.
and come back?
Yeah, spoiler alert, the promo for next episode, she literally just picks it up, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't
that
watch next
also-
episode. I didn't watch it. I didn't
promo?
watch that.
Yeah.
I didn't
I
watch the
haven't
promo.
watched it. I
And
didn't
it's
watch-
probably gonna
haven't
say
heard-
it in the... It's probably gonna say it in the next...
Yeah.
you
No,
know.
that was a total guess. And now I was thinking, I
No,
was like,
it's
wait a
pretty good.
minute.
It's a good
No,
guess.
it is a very logical guess. That's the right way to go. But I mean, as
Mick
far as
has the fire totem. Oh my god.
Oh,
I'm-
obviously! Holy shit. It's perfect. It's perfect.
Then who's gonna have the life totem?
Life totem.
As the life totem they have, the green one. They have the life
It's Earth. I
totem.
thought that was Earth.
that's Earth.
It's Earth.
Earth. Same.
They have Earth,
Oh.
Spirit, Air, Fire, Water, Death.
They don't have spirit anymore.
Well, no,
That
but those
exist.
are the existing ones.
Yeah.
They don't have light or
Well,
life.
Earth. Who is? I mean, will Amaya take over Earth?
Maybe. Until she gets hers back. I'm surprised she hasn't done that already. Well, I guess they're
Yeah.
afraid of it, because it kind of, you know,
Well, they saw what happened to the pirate lady.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
they're probably afraid of it, so.
Or they probably want to do more research
Or,
on
yeah,
it.
hush,
It,
it's not afraid.
they really the totems really have to be in the right hands. So
Mm.
they really have to do their research. And at this point, I don't see anybody other than Amaya slightly that could handle it.
Amaya should be able to handle it, theoretically.
Yeah. But yeah, if Mick gets that fire totem, holy crap! I could totally see it.
I know Ray was joking about using the fire totem at one point. I don't
Yeah.
remember if it was this episode or last episode, but he was joking around about it, and they're
I can-
looking at him like, no.
I can also see someone else, like, connecting with the fire totem, and then Mick being
Jax
jealous.
is coming back.
Ooh!
Ooh, that could be a good one.
And if he
too.
builds a fire totem, it's almost feel like we have Firestorm back.
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah. That would be an interesting way to go too.
And Mick will just be jealous.
I know.
I
right?
don't think he'd care, actually. I really don't think he'd care.
I don't know. We'll have to see. But Mick would be an interesting choice. I think that'd be an interesting road to go down.
It'd be funny. It really
It would be. It would be, and it'd give him. It might give him a sense of, belonging, kind of thing. Like, I could do this kind of thing. Give him, a little more than just.
Especially since Amaya and him have this weird connection where it's a good relationship, but they only talk when they need to.
Hmm.
And same with Zari. Zari and him have a really good relationship too.
That's true.
So
There's no animosity between him and the ladies. He's got a good relationship with Sarah too. It's just the
Mhm.
boys where he's like, I think you're annoying. Shoot, go away.
To be fair, though, Nate and Ray are pretty annoying.
But he did go to a Grateful Dead concert with Nate.
Yes,
so.
he did. He did.
I mean, that is a mission he'd love to do anyways.
Yeah.
So I guess he just tolerates Nate at that point.
Light theft is allowed. We call it souvenirs.
And, Mhm.
Yes.
Light theft. It's my
I
favorite.
was waiting for him one time. Just he does something, and Wally comes through, zipping through, and he just sticks out his arm. Wally goes flying across the.
I feel like they're going to have an episode where Wally sticks to him like glue, kind of like a lost puppy,
Yeah.
and there's gonna be some sort of like male figure like bonding, like not like
Mhm.
father son, but more like
Friends,
I'm-
brothers.
yeah, or uncle,
Yeah,
nephew,
yeah.
and it's gonna be really cute. But then the next episodes, he's gonna go back to you annoy me, get out of my face.
And I have to say, I love the youthful enthusiasm and the peppiness that Wally has. It's something we missed from him when he was in The Flash, just because when we meet him, his mother's dying, and
He's not really accepted in the beginning because Joe's kind of like off on his,
yeah.
it's weird.
Yeah. But he's just, and I think meditating, going to see the monks helped him to be a
It did
little
help
lighter
him.
of spirit too.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy to see him just adorable.
I
mean,
would like
I
to
would-
know where the sounds really weird. The pawn shop broker got that guitar because he's had it. He said he's had it for a long time and he thinks it's cursed. I'd like to know where the fuck he got it.
Great observation, because I noticed at the end when he's like, says, the pawn shop dealer says he actually did it, the little laugh he gives is really freaky. It freaked me out. I'm like, devil! Demon!
Who is, well, he was scared of it too, but I don't know. It just.
That could have been an act.
Yeah, it could have been.
A really weird
and that's
vibe.
when I got that whole, the crossroads kind of thing that we brought up last time.
Memphis Crossroad Demons, that kind of stuff. Maybe we're digging a little bit, because Malice can't be the only demon out there.
No.
So maybe this is a bigger arc than we think.
Yeah. He could also have been possessed by Malice.
Mm-hmm. Or he could have just been an angel.
Hmm.
No, either way, I just thought it was a little odd. I was like, he said it because he specifically said, he goes, no, you don't want that one. That's been here a while, kind of thing. Like, no, you don't want that one, kind of thing.
The thing is, when you come across an optimistic person like Elvis, who really wants to just make a difference and, express his feelings and get his talents out there, when you tell a person like that, no, they're going to do it anyways. Yeah. They're going to prove you wrong.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, especially when his entire being was telling him, that's the guitar. That's my guitar.
And kind of weird. I mean, not a lot of people know this about me, but it's like when you go into, say, like, those eclectic witchy shops, and you're going in and you're like, I need to pick out my tarot cards or my scrying crystal. You have to feel like you have a connection to it, so you can spend hours in the store just looking around until you're finally like, boing, and then you pick it out.
Yeah.
That's the one.
It's out of reach and I don't want to get up, but my singing bowl, my big one, when I went camping, there was one of those shops in town, and I just sat there with the thing like this. And I'm like, this is mine.
This is mine now.
This is mine.
Yep.
Sorry.
Here's my money. This is mine.
This is mine. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't know. It was very, I could see it not meaning anything if he just was at the beginning and that was it. It was a one-off. Okay, a little weird. But then they show him again at the end. I'm like, in that little creepy laugh he had. So I don't know. I don't know if it means anything, but it was freaking creepy though. But it was weird.
For them to bother showing him again at the end, it's gotta mean something, and we're gonna see that face again.
Well, and we know where all the other crystals came from. Like the fire crystal, we knew what happened to it, and there was the story behind the earth crystal. We knew what happened. Where that came from, kind of.
This one,
there's nothing. It was in a guitar.
There.
Yeah.
Attached
to a guitar, and
it was at the tap.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, they wear the totems as necklaces usually. I don't think we've ever seen it, the totem's powers work through an object before.
Yeah.
Because even when the guitar wasn't being held, it was floating around and it was powered by the totem, powered by Jesse, powered by other ghosts. So the death totem, I think, is a completely different thing going on. Because, but to be fair, like, we haven't seen, say, the earth totem put on a flower pot and, watch a freaking beanstalk grow out of nowhere. We haven't seen that, so.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a wand where, you use this object to channel the energy. I feel like you're putting these gems inside of necklaces to channel them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just interested. Now that Sarah is touching it, then I can see. She's like the only one I could see wielding it. Besides, maybe Thea, but Thea's not on the show. But because she's been to that realm, she's been over there, and she, you know what I mean? It's like. It's kind of a no-brainer, I think, at this point. And I think she'd be really strong in it. And even she was crossed over into Malice, or whatever his name is, Mr. M's realm. And she's been there. And she's been in between worlds so many more times than I can count. But her wielding that is kind of a no-brainer, I guess, at this point.
It makes the most sense right now.
It does. It really does. And I think she's strong enough to wield it. And I think
does that mean, like, you know, oh God, what if Dark got his hands on it? Because, you know,
exactly. I don't know.
a lot of people could wield that.
But I don't know how, we don't know how it works, so we don't know how it chooses its. It seems like it chooses the person it wants to go to.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Like, it has a little bit more life force in it. Like,
even though it's a death totem.
Yeah, like, it's the death totem, but it seems like it has a little bit more, like, life in it to make its own decisions, whereas the other totems are just kind of there.
It's the One Ring. We have to find Tolkien again.
Right. But even the other totems kind of choose their bearer, because if you're not, I mean, we saw Nora couldn't use the spirit totem until, you know, she
realized her true self. Yeah.
But yeah, so we're gonna have to figure out about the death totem. I think they need a little bit more information on it.
Yeah, and I honestly think with Nora, she would have been able to use it if it weren't for, like, immediately she would have connected with it easier if it weren't for Mollis.
Oh, she probably would have. Yeah, easily.
Like, he was the block.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I think Nora still has, she's kept, only the reason why she's kept her human side is because she's maybe let Malice think that she's on his side, kind of thing, kind of like playing the game. She's playing the game. Because we've seen parts of her that isn't like that vindictive, evil person, you know, even with her dad, and all she wants to do, and you could tell all she wants is her dad just to care about her. She doesn't want anything else from him. We'll have to see what happens.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Exactly. Is that all we have for?
It's exciting, and I think that's all we can really talk about.
Yeah.
Because
Mm-hmm.
as much as what happened was happening, it was straightforward. It was
a very straightforward.
Two concrete storylines, and they didn't really go all over the place.
No.
And they weren't. So.
Yeah, they did what they had to do. And Elvis.
And Elvis.
It was really good.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, The Flash. Run, Iris, run. I loved this episode. There's so much I loved about Iris as a speedster. And high on that list is the purple lightning.
Yes.
That was so cool.
We all know how I feel about Iris.
Yes.
But we know how I've been feeling recently about Iris, where, you know, she's kind of become the Rock, and I can tolerate her. And this episode made me like her a little bit.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Oh, I'm excited. I'm so happy.
Because she got to experience the struggle.
Yeah.
And, you know, even, like, because Ralph took her aside, it's like, you just sit here while everybody else is out there, you know, you just tell us what to freaking do while the rest of us are, you know, risking our lives. He's like, Ralph is another story this episode, though.
Yeah,
but,
like, my God, I wanted to kill him.
He did come out and say, you know, you need to, like, she's not a superhero, she's not a meta, so it makes sense for her to stay back. Because the rest of the team has powers other than Harry, but he's another fucking story. I can't even go on about him either.
Oh my God, I was...
But, like, you know, Cisco, he vibes, and, you know, we got Caitlin is Killer Frost, and, you know, Ralph is Elastic Man, and, you know, Barry the Flash. And, yes. So, you know, it is fair for him to be like, okay, you sit back and you watch us, you know, but for her to actually experience that struggle and get out there and be like, all right, I have a whole new perspective on what they're doing out there.
But I still don't think that's fair for him to say.
It was not fair for him to say, but it did make her think.
Yes.
And, you know, she's like, well, I'm the leader. And he's like, yeah, but what do you actually do? And
I keep you ungrateful fucks together.
Exactly. She is the glue right now.
Yeah.
But for her to know now what it is like to be out there with the powers and, trying to save people, and you have to think on your toes and you have to, learn situation by situation.
Mm-hmm.
I really think it opened up her eyes, which makes
And
her more like there's more growth there as a character,
yeah.
whereas before she was just damsel in distress,
And
which
Iris
I
has
fucking hate.
always been a character who knows what she can do and does it really well.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're a superhero, you have to do what you didn't know you could do and probably couldn't do unless you tried.
Yeah.
And that was a little too far out of the box for her. Yeah. But, she ended up doing good in the end.
The tidal wave?
Yeah.
That was like what? Like
Yeah, that was
Barry's like, I've
crazy.
never even done that.
Yeah, that was crazy. We should probably start talking about the dumbasses in this episode.
Okay, yeah, let's get the dumbasses out of the way, thanks.
Start with what's his name? Harry.
His thinking cap. He refused to call it a thinking cap.
He's looking for an answer. I get it. But he looks at Thrawn. Your
like,
solution's gonna come from a fucking crazy person. And then he wants to replicate what
another crazy person is doing.
crazy person did. And I'm like, it actually made him crazy. Do you not know that? He's crazy.
I mean, it did.
I was with Cisco. I was like, no, don't. Like, why? No, stop.
I mean, me too. But I mean, he did get the information he needed. He's like, I don't need it anymore. But still, like, I feel like he's gonna want more now, and that's gonna be a major problem.
Here's what I got from that scene when he takes the helmet off and says, I don't need it anymore. Yeah, it could just mean that he got the 2 names and he doesn't need it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking there are gonna be lasting side effects to having used this cap. Because look at the Thinker. He has gotten permanent powers from using the cap. True, his had dark matter running through it. Mm-hmm. But I think Harry's gonna suffer some power-related side effects from using that cap.
Yep.
Or whatever he called his one.
I feel like it's like a drug. And he's on a high right now, and when he starts crashing, he's going to want it back. Yeah.
And I mean, he did say, he's like, I feel my neurons firing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, endorphins and shit. I'm like, well, that must feel good. No, your head's literally on fire.
Yeah.
That was so funny. It caught on fire.
I like that he went to Ralph, like his last possible person he'd ever go to get help.
Yeah.
And, Ralph's like, no, like, just nonchalant, you're literally on fire.
Eating a fucking hot dog while holding the solder for him.
And wiping the mustard on his pants, and then finding out he's going commando. I did not need that scene.
I didn't need that either. He was wearing a nice suit, and he wipes mustard on it. It's like, I wipe stuff on my pants, but my clothes are shitty. Like,
even if, like, if I was out in public, and even if I were wearing, like, a pair of sweats, I still would not wipe mustard on them, because I'm out in public, I'm out with other people. I don't want to look like a homeless person.
He's a crazy person.
Oh my god. And then Ralph is back to being that big old baby.
Oh my god. And it's one thing if he was a big old baby. That's fine. But he's being a prick now, too, on top of it. So it's just like, please stop and never speak again.
I mean, he is fearing for his life. Yes, I understand that. Because, he
not
is...
give you a pass to be an asshole.
It doesn't, no. And, they're like going to him, we're going to figure it out. And he's like, yeah, but, we have an idea and nobody even wants to act on it. I understand
because
that.
It's crazy.
But it was a really crazy idea. But, like, they're sitting there. I can see, like, kind of saw from Cisco. He's sitting there. And he goes, DeVoe has thought about everything that we've thought about already. We're just gonna go to sleep. We're gonna sleep on it and wake up. But he still had the same mentality where DeVoe's thought of everything already. Whatever we're thinking about right now is not gonna work. So it was like, he had already kind of given up at that point. And I get where Ralph got really annoyed with that because they doesn't matter what kind of idea, they just need to think of ideas and try them, even in the slightest. But like, I don't think DeVoe knows what the fuck he's thinking about anymore. So any of the ideas they're thinking about now, I think, would even like throw a damper into his plan because he's so overwhelmed with what's going on with all these powers he has right now.
Yeah, we haven't really seen into his plan in a little while, because when we saw glimpses into his plan, it was because his wife was also in on it and they were talking about it. But now his wife has no idea what he's thinking, and his plan's probably gone off the rails. So we, as the audience, have no idea. Like, we're as lost as the team is.
Yep.
So it's like we just have to wait until they reveal something for us to even...
So I can relate with their anxieties on the show. I really can relate, because not knowing what the fuck is going to happen, but thinking that he knows that he has a plan, that he knows.
But he's thought of us thinking of this plan, and we've done it, and it's failed, and yeah. And I mean, I think Cisco has thought himself around in circles to the point where he's like, I need to go to sleep. I'm just going to sleep. That's all I have left.
I mean, yeah, it does help to, sleep, to refresh your
yeah.
brain, instead of just living off a fucking coffee.
Yeah.
Like Harry does. Like, he just
Harry
drinks,
is
he
more
chugs
like
it,
HR than we ever thought. Right? Right, though?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I miss HR.
Me too.
So much.
He didn't really do much, but he did a lot when it comes to bringing the team together, actually. He was very, like, the social element of HR helped the team a lot.
He was the glue before Iris was team leader. Like, he was the spirit.
Yep.
Yeah. Maybe we should actually talk about the plot of this episode. New bus meta, Matthew Kim, switches powers. He can take powers away and give it to somebody else.
See, that's a better explanation than we got the other time, where he switches DNA. It's like, no, it doesn't work that way.
Because it's not what he does.
No.
He takes the dark matter and the powers out of a person's DNA and puts it into somebody else. So that
makes much more sense.
My comment last week about how that's not how DNA works still stands, but it's not actually what his power is. So
no. No, I'm glad they actually explained it a little bit this episode, because I went in thinking the same thing you were, like, what the fuck do they think they're doing with DNA bullshit? Like, no, stop it. But I'm glad there was clarification, because it made me feel better about Melting Pot, about Matthew.
He is really cool, and I'm glad he's not dead yet.
Oh, me too. I'm glad they're like, hey, we have lodging, and you're part of the team now. Yay! Like, they did not freaking, wait on it. They just made it happen. They're just like, you don't really have an option, so we're just giving you this.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, you can go back to your job, but you also risk getting abducted by this crazy person. So it's probably best you stay with us.
It helps that he's a passive person, though.
Yeah.
Because with what's her face, with the violin or the viola or whatever,
she just wanted to go out there and fight.
Yeah, she was stubborn as all hell. She had a, really, like, she's bullheaded, and she just wanted to do what she wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like, but she had trust issues, so there's that.
Yeah, no, Matthew's really chill. Like, except for holding a scalpel to Iris's neck, he's really chill.
Yeah.
I was a little aggro. I was like, why? He's like, I'm helping people. Are you helping Iris with the scalpel against her neck? I don't think so.
No.
You need to step back and refocus. Which he does.
Yeah. I mean, His powers are. I feel like he's going to help in the end. Like, he's going to be the one to take all of DeVoe's powers.
Yes, all his other meta powers. Well, actually, he's not a meta, so all his meta powers.
All his meta powers. And what is he? He's just going to, like, not touch anybody for the rest of his life and just hold on to these powers and have them dormant inside him? Or is he just going to, like, let's make a pretty circle, everybody, and hold hands? Like,
See, that's a great question. I don't know what he would do with them.
I feel like it's going to be a self-sacrifice. The power, there's going to be too much of the powers. He's going to take it all, and then it's just going to be...
But he's cool.
Exactly.
I
But they
expressed
do
the
this to us
last
all the
time.
time.
They
They give us cool characters, and then they take them away.
all of the bus metas we have met, that's like 10 people are dead.
This is why you can't have nice things.
I know, right? 5 of them died in, like, the same scene.
Yep.
It's just, like, ugh. I really hope he lives.
I feel like they're gonna figure out how to neutralize his power, so that after he takes the powers from DeVoe,
Yeah.
they're gonna neutralize him, and he's just gonna be human again.
Or...
And then the powers are just...
Yeah. Or maybe they'll, find a way to dissipate the powers, but without affecting Matthew.
Yeah, where he just... I feel like in order to end this whole chapter with DeVoe, he has to end up human with no power as well.
But he's
Like
still... There's no way for Matthew to take away his thinking. Because it's not a meta power.
The thinking?
Yeah, isn't
I thought he was affected by the dark matter from the first explosion, and then he got struck by lightning with the thinking cap on, and that's why it's so. So I think he does have, like, his thinking power is meta.
But he didn't. He didn't go off for the detector when they used the meta detector. When they still didn't know he was the bad guy, they scanned him. You can't trick that, I don't think.
I think he actually thought that was when he wasn't all crazy and had all these powers, and he thought that through.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong then.
I mean, that was a few episodes ago when they did that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember now.
Red Bandit says, I think the guy actually melting shit should have been called Melting Pot, and they should have called Matthew the Swapper.
Well, I thought he was called Melting Point. Was it Melting Pot? I don't know.
They called Matthew Melting Pot.
Okay.
I think Red Bandit's talking about the guy in the bank heist at the very beginning.
the weird fire shit.
Yeah. Like sun-powered fire melting shit.
Yeah, like, what was it, 8 inches of steel?
Yeah. I still love how Cisco, every job he goes to, he's like, yep, just another meta. Why do you guys even bother freaking calling me anymore? You know it's a fucking meta. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But I guess I'm just here to finalize this bullshit. Make sure it's,
Yeah.
He's just so sarcastic.
It's very funny, because I like how aggressively he was scanning the guy, too.
So you just lose your powers. Just
like
that.
rubbing it in his face. It's like, checks out.
Oh my god.
It's probably that, the CCPD has the equipment, just nobody knows how to read it. Is what the real thing is. Yeah.
That's true. As for the guy that ended up getting those fire powers, I feel like he's typecasted as a bully.
Oh, for sure. He's got a bully face.
Because for a good amount of the seasons of Glee, he was the major bully.
I knew him from something. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
I watched more Glee than I ever thought I would.
I've watched... I don't like to admit it, but I've watched the whole series like 3 times over since it's ended, so... I just put it on, and like background shit. It's just the music, really.
Mm-hmm.
Even though some of the covers are terrible. But that's what I mostly recognize him from anyways. I'm sure he's been on other stuff since, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I don't know. Between Ralph and Harry, I was just like, that's probably why I ended up liking Iris much more.
The
Because
like
they were
douchebag levels were
they were
out of
just too
whack.
high. They were just like I couldn't I think I started really hating Iris when she ended up being the damsel in distress every friggin' episode and she was whining
That
a
was
lot. And I was
well. I
and
didn't like that she was. I hated that she was damsel too. Like that was.
mhm.
But that was the
And
writers. That was like not her fault.
yeah, no. But that it did like kind of affect her personality. Like she always had that like I need to be saved kind of mentality. And especially like near the end with Savitar, where she just gave up. It's like she's like, oh, I'm gonna die anyways. It's like, no, 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 stop, stop being stupid.
Well,
So now to see her as a stronger character,
Yeah.
it does alleviate some of that dislike for me. So I want to slap Ralph silly and just take a stick and whack Harry a little bit and tell
Yeah,
him
like-
no, like a bad dog. Like take a rolled up newspaper and just slap him a few times because he needs it.
and like for like every time they do like justice, like they make Ralph like a little more likable. He brings himself back by saying dumb
Yeah.
shit. I'm just like just stop.
That and his mannerisms are a little bit ugh. Even when he's being okay, it's just
Yeah.
like you disgust me just this much, just enough that I
Just a tiny bit. Yeah.
ugh. No, I mean,
he's always a bit of an asshole, that character. But yeah. I didn't get the chance to look up the names of the final two bus metas. But they are Janet Petty and Edwin Goss.
okay.
And it's just what he says at the end of the episode.
I don't feel like their real names are going to lead us to anywhere, even if we Googled. I feel like some of these metas were just pulled out of thin air.
I think so too. Or at least their numbers are.
Yeah.
Apparently, a real life Janet Petty is dead because there's an obituary page for her.
Oh.
But yeah, no, all the results are for the Flash TV show, so their names made up for this.
Okay.
So we'll see who they are and what they can do soon, I guess. Is there anything else in this episode that we need to talk about? Oh, I liked that, in addition to Iris understanding, like, all the perils and, like, the trust that Barry has to put in her to come up with a plan, she got to see the fun side of being a speedster.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
She had so much fun.
The thing that we didn't get to see her was going to a food place and ordering all the food.
Yeah, 1,000 burgers. All of the food.
Dude, that'd be the first thing I'd do with that power.
Oh, God. Well, I mean, the whole point is like you're burning so much of your energy off as a speedster.
Hell
You need
yeah.
you need to eat the calories. And
Yeah,
I just
I'd be
want to
like-
see her just like stuffing the burgers and be like, "Oh my God," and just like all over the place and like gross about it. And that would
Well,
have
you
been
can zoom off to
interesting.
down to South America, get some really good grub down there, and come back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
at the end
not
of the
get in.
episode, Barry ran and got a pizza from, like, a town over.
Yeah, I mean,
He's done that before, but like Rachel is saying, the whole thing where you can just run off, get some food, like
Yeah.
miles and miles and miles away, and then come back and it's still warm. That's like the whole zip to China and back in a few seconds. No, Let's not go that way anymore. That's silly. Stop it.
I'm going to Italy to get some real Italian food.
I'm gonna go to Finland and never come back.
Right. I'm just gonna go to Scandinavia. That's where you're gonna find me. We're just gonna live there.
Yep. That's the
With
only
our
thing
free
about
health care and
and
free
you know,
college
the
and
college, the education and
living.
just yeah,
Mhm.
There
good
you go.
shit. Let's go there. So are we gonna move on to synopsises?
I think so.
Who's got what covered?
I have Black Lightning. I couldn't get the page was loading too many things. So if you could do Flash and Legends for me.
Okay, I can get.
But for Black Lightning, next episode is the Book of Little Black Lies. In the aftermath of the latest killing, Black Lightning works to clear his name while also hunting down the person responsible for his father's death. Tobias? And anyone else involved. Well, that'd be the Shadow Council, probably. Tensions remain high between Black Lightning and Gamby. So, still working out the shit.
Still working out the shit. That's a kind of a short synopsis, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm guessing there's going to be a little bit more action in this one, too, just because there was only really training in this episode, episode 8. So I'm assuming there's going to be an actual fight scene in this one.
I can't find a synopsis for the next episode of Flash because all they're talking about is Kevin Smith because he's the one
Right?
who's directing the next
Smith.
episode.
It's the Kevin Smith episode. I'm going to try on my phone just because I'm afraid if I try to load that page again, it's going to crash my computer. Because too many things at once makes my computer a sad boy.
Yeah.
Even though she's a girl. Yes, I gendered my computer. Leave me alone.
I did that to my dad's truck. My dad hated it. He hated that I made it a girl.
Why did you gender my truck?
Okay, so I guess I'll move on to Legends because
Yeah.
that's the one I can find.
I'll look for the Flash.
Legends is called Necromancy in the Stone. When Malice's power over Sarah resurfaces, she unwittingly becomes the bearer of one of the totems.
Guess which one?
The Death Totem,
Ah.
yay! And Rory must conquer his dark side in order to wield his own totem of power to help save the crew.
Fire.
Ah.
You know what? It'd be
Meanwhile-
really funny if it ends up being Earth.
That would be weird.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
I hope they threw the twist at us because that would be interesting because he's becoming a really down to earth person right now. Meanwhile, Agent Sharp notices that something is wrong and recruits someone unorthodox to help.
Ooh. Unorthodox, you say?
Huh.
Oh.
Unorthodox.
We're all like, huh,
Who could be unorthodox? Like seriously?
Rip.
No.
don't know.
They've already kind of accepted Rip back, so it's not that.
Not really. But I don't know who else though. I don't know. Probably someone we haven't seen before. If it is, I don't know. Maybe she called John back again.
Constantine? No, because he's not unorthodox. He actually is relevant to Malice, so
For her, it'd be unorthodox.
that's true.
Well,
I don't know.
We'll have to figure it out. We'll see it next week.
Oh, and Jason Mewes are on the next episode of Flash. Okay.
Nice.
Oh God.
Into it. I can't find like an actual synopsis. But it's called Null and Annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
Snitches.
It says it does not currently have an official air date.
And what?
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 Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, I was trying to do the Tim Gunn. Not Tim Gunn.
Tim Allen.
Tim the Tool Man Taylor.
Yeah. It says April 10th, so that article was... Yeah, so we
It's
have
in
a
a month.
break.
We got a
We
flash
Oh
have
my
break.
God! No break and
And
Legend.
Black Lightning's
Arrow's
next
on a
week.
break.
Arrow's on a break. And so I guess next week is just Black Lightning and Legends?
Yeah, because
Yep.
Supergirl doesn't come back till April as well. So
Oh,
we
okay.
only
Arrow
have
doesn't
two
come back
shows.
till the 29th of March. So yeah.
Alright.
Wow.
Huh?
Okay, well, that would explain why
Something
there's no
like that.
synopsis. They don't want to give us spoilers that far ahead.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Well,
We get two shows to do in this slot, so it won't be just be like maybe a half an hour.
yeah. We might have a normal episode length. Or we'll compensate by talking a lot more about a single thing.
We've been
known to do that.
Yeah.
All right. Nikki, where can the people find you?
On Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyVenom24.
Rachel, what about you?
You can find me at Viking Witch 76 on Twitch and at Viking Witch on Twitter. I mean, Twitter, reverse!
Switch them.
Switch it.
them.
Or Google it.
I-
It'll correct you, I'm sure.
Twitch. This is Twitter, right here.
Knock off the number if you want to skitter on Twitch.
Twitch, yep, here you go.
You can find me
Chop it
on
off.
Cleomoto at Twitter, Twitch, Pinterest, and I'm on Etsy. Go buy my shit, maybe. It's the worst. Like, I'm
Don't buy
really
my
bad at
shit.
selling myself, guys. I'm really bad.
Are we still doing phrasing?
Lana! You can find all of us at ASOTV Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, and YouTube, and Twitch, and Discord. Our link for Discord's in the down there
below.
somewhere. And just follow us for some more stuff that we do.
Yeah.
Almost pressed the wrong button. That would have been bad.
Oh,
That would have meant more.
Push the button.
Would have meant more editing for me, and I don't want to do that.
damn.
Don't push the button.